Yep, I'm aware. This is my first review I've posted onto my channel in 7 darn months. I'm really sorry about this. My schedule has just been cluttered to the max. But I have got a lot of future reviews planned though, sadly most of them being reviews on absolutely garbage movies, but whatever. Anyways, welcome to another movie review. For today's movie review, I'm going to be reviewing Sammy Knight's most popular movie at the time of writing this, Dead Trigger 2019. Back when this movie was released, DBG's reaction to the movie was very positive, and that had me thinking, if DBG likes it, then it's gotta be good. So I gave it a watch, and I'll tell you my verdict on the movie later on. This also marks the first time I actually review a zombie movie as well, surprisingly, so I'm probably not going to be the expert of zombie movie reviews, for sure. But anyways, will Dead Trigger tempt me to watch more zombie flicks? Let's see. The story goes as follows. A high school student named Jessica Dimps is infected by deadly toxic waste, causing the beginning of a virus. It is up to 2 zombie experts, Tara Conlon and Buck Andrews, to cure the virus before a deadly zombie apocalypse ensues. I'm gonna have to say, considering that this was Sammy's first attempt at a zombie movie, this is a really strong effort. There are a lot of positives in this story to talk about. Let me begin. First, because the tone of the movie is very mature as in fully developed, not as in completely inappropriate, it's very hard to not stay engaged in what's going on. Throughout the whole movie, my interest and attention span were both high. If a zombie movie can keep you interested and engaged, you know it has done well in the story department. Even though this movie is only 71 minutes long, it feels surprisingly longer thanks to how engaged I was in the whole thing. If it wasn't engaging, then I wouldn't have paid as much attention, therefore it would feel like the whole movie would go by quicker. But I would still notice if a movie was rushed, like if I was engaged in it, but the running time was still very short, like under an hour for example. But personally, I think it is very impressive for a 71-minute movie to not feel very rushed. As for the humor, well, the movie doesn't really throw some in often, but the little bits we get are worthy of a decent amount of laughs. If I did have to throw in a bit of criticism with the story, it'd have to be the appeal of it, and that problem mainly lies in the action. I'm not saying the action is bad, I like it fine personally, but if a viewer is coming and expecting some hardcore zombie movie action, then you're not gonna find it here, my friend. This nitpick doesn't affect my viewing experience personally though, and I can't imagine many people complaining about it. Despite this being Sammy's first zombie movie, this is a really well-crafted story, and I'd say the story is easily worthy of a 9 out of 10. Well, this movie is off to a good start, but will the animation have the same great quality as the story? Well, almost. I don't really have any major problems with the animation, I do think it is generally well crafted. I'll talk about the good things about the animation first. For starters, the character designs are solid, the movements are smooth, and there are some techniques used to make the animation quality better than the typical polygon video standard. Now for the small problems with the animation. And no, it's not that anything is poorly done, but there seems to be an almost, if not complete lack of visual effects usage in this movie. Therefore, compared to other polygon movies like Happy Wheels 2, Virtual Madness, it looks nowhere near as technologically advanced. Also, this part is only a nitpick, but there is one scene where the camera clips through a gate, which bugs me a bit, but I'm not going to get mad about it, since you'd expect that more in a polygon production more than an actual movie that was released to theaters, or straight to video. There's plenty to like about the animation done in this movie, but it's just not quite as technologically advanced as other movies of its kind. Still, the animation gets a solid 8 out of 10. Okay, maybe the animation wasn't groundbreaking, but who cares? If it's good, it's good. Now, let's move on to the characters. A movie like this will need some very capable, intelligent, and well-developed characters. And that's exactly the case. Let's start with the duo of zombie experts themselves, Tara Conlon and Buck Andrews. If you've seen plenty of plotted gun videos with them as a duo, you should know them well. They're capable and sophisticated, and thankfully not up to the point that they're boring. What I am about to say now though is a huge spoiler for the movie. If you want to avoid this, skip to the timestamp shown below. It really was a shame that Buck Andrews died near the end of the movie. I would have expected him to survive, but oh well. There's Henry Cervantes, who is the chief of the police force. Personality-wise, he's like pretty much nearly every other important character in the movie, sophisticated and well-developed. I would have complained if every single important character had just one personality. They wouldn't be very different to one another. But thankfully I won't, because despite the movie not throwing in a lot of humor, there's a character that would supply a good chunk of the movie's humor, and that is Jessica Dempsey's mother. I'll admit, her demanding personality can actually be worthy of a few decent laughs. I would say she was my favorite character of the movie, despite not serving the biggest role. I sure am glad that there are at least some characters with different personalities, compared to the most important ones. Otherwise, this movie would have felt a bit more boring. I'm not going to complain about the fact that the lead characters don't bring in much laughs, because honestly, given the tone of this movie, they don't need to. As for the rest of the characters, there isn't really much to say about them, considering that most of them have pretty similar personalities to the lead ones. But anyways, other characters include the town president, Richard Winkler, Dr. Drake and Dr. Lee, Amy French, Detective Pablo Conroy, Simon Niels, Principal Pete Harlan, and more. The good news is though, none of these characters are bad, none of them have little development, and none of them feel pointless. While I'm on the subject of positive aspects and characters, I will have to say that the voice acting in this movie is really solid. That especially is also helped by a good script. Not many of these characters are going to make you laugh, but that doesn't matter. Given the mature tone, they don't need to. And this movie has a great cast of sophisticated characters. I'm gonna give the characters a 9 out of 10. It's easy to see why this is Sammy Knight's most popular movie, because it is easily his best, although the opinion is subject to change if the sequel turns out to be even better. Dead Trigger is an engaging and very entertaining movie, with an interesting, well-written and well-balanced story, likable and sophisticated characters, decent action, great voice acting and a very well-made script. Sure, viewers of hardcore zombie action may want to look elsewhere, and the animation isn't anything groundbreaking. But that shouldn't put anyone off at all. The animation itself is still pretty good anyway. As for recommendations, I suggest you just go watch it right away. The link to the movie is in the description, as well as a link to Sammy Knight's YouTube channel. In fact, since, at the time of writing this, the sequel is gonna be released in a few days, I'll also link that in the description. Make sure to set your reminders for it. But I do suggest watching the first movie before diving into Dead Trigger 2. For a first zombie movie, this is impressive. Not quite one of the very best I've seen, but you can't go wrong with watching it. Dead Trigger has earned a total of 26 points out of a possible 30, which translates to an overall score of an 8.5 out of 10. Well, I'm so glad to have gotten a movie review posted onto this channel again. And it's been a long time since I've reviewed something that's actually great as well. Anyways, thanks for watching this movie review. What are your thoughts on this movie? Tell me in the comments section below if you have seen Dead Trigger. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like. And if you are new to my channel and enjoy what I make, I'd appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button and turned on notifications, so you'd never miss a new video by me ever again. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Subscribe by clicking on my profile picture that has just popped up, and click on this profile picture that has just popped up to subscribe to my amazing friend, DBG channel. And click on these two squares that have popped up to check out my latest video and a random video for a bit of variety. See you in the next video.